Hi, it's Cindy, the founder of Feminine Mastery, and I want to welcome you back to Women Who Rise. Live, love, and lead from your feminine, where our feminine masters are showing you how to transcend fear and live your divine calling to prosper wildly. And oh my gosh, I have a feminine master with us today who's just absolutely exquisite. She is now circumnavigating the world, reaching so many people, awakening their joy, and so much more. So I can be more thrilled to have with us and have back with us Amanda Collins.
Cindy, thank you so much. It's just an honor to be with the absolute divine goddess herself. So,
oh my gosh! And since we met, that's how we came together. I remember I got this email, and you were having this full moon, yoga class with a harp on the bay, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have got to go there, receive all that, and meet this woman. And then we've just had this beautiful divine
love
feminine, yeah,
love affair.
exactly, ever since, which is really what's possible. I mean, when women truly, we can open our hearts and we can access this higher love, this divine feminine juiciness, the connections that we can have, and all of the blessings it brings to our life are just, there's just so many. And I want that for every woman watching and listening today to receive all that you have to offer and what we can bring together so that they can access that divinity, that juiciness, that joy, that and all the abundance as well. So I'm so excited to dive in with you.
And I'm so happy to be here. So thank you.
Absolutely. So I'm going to read a little bit about you. Reading these bios is by far my weakness. But I do want everyone to know, more about you, because every time I read about you, it's like you're just amazing what you've been able to accomplish and the way that you live your life as well. So Amanda Collins is an inspirational speaker, self-love guide, and feng shui master. She has founded the International Feng Shui School and Training Program, which offers in-person and online certification courses. Amanda created her inner circle of wisdom as a source of support, inspiration, and friendship to help you find your own joy, invite miracles, and live your greatest self. And your background is phenomenal. So in addition to leading sacred journeys in Ireland, which I'm definitely going to make it over there at some point, she's worked with notable clients such as Bloomingdale's, Bank of America, Hewlett-Packard, and DreamWorks, who have all reported breakthroughs from her work in Feng Shui. And she's been frequently interviewed in the media, appearing in Vogue, Yoga Journal, Spirit and Destiny, The Irish Examiner, RTE Television in Ireland, Fox News, and I'm not going to say the last one because there's too many letters. So astounding, amazing, Amanda Collins.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. So before we dive into your topic, which I absolutely love, it's so perfect, and of course it's centered in love and joy, but also, rising. I wonder if you could expand on, what the capacity of our hearts, we hear, I'm going to live from my heart, I'm going to lead from my heart, or I'm finding a place for that in my heart, or access to my heart's wisdom. So I wonder if you could shed your divine wisdom on what heart is for women. What is the capacity? What's the possibility, and really what does that all mean? Okay, so let's start there.
I love that. I mean, what a beautiful, juicy question, like what is the heart? What is love? And, the first thing is interesting because when I hear you say the word capacity, it makes me think that's an amount, right? There has to be a certain amount of something, and we are love. It's infinite. So I don't know if there's a capacity or a container size or an amount, or we are that. And so I think that we can make a choice to allow every single part of us, every single cell, to breathe from that place, to think from that place, to act from that place, before we speak a word, before we think a thought. Like, we can give permission to play full out and be that love, because love has the ability to transmute, transform anything. And here's the thing. Before we were born in our physical body, when we were in the womb, the second we came in the world, it was like, I am just pure love. That's all I know. You're completely connected to that divine energy. And so like, it just, I mean, just look at the practical, you're born, newborn baby, which we all were. And it's like, I'm hungry, because I'm pure love. That's all I know. So if something feels like any other vibration, I'm going to express that. Oh, I'm tired. And it's like, we were pure. We came into this world knowing that's exactly what we are and what we are. And then possibly something's happened throughout childhood, or whether it be a teacher, a parent, a sibling, and it doesn't even matter, right? But experiences that we had that took us away from believing and knowing that we were just pure, unconditional, infinite love. And then it's like the journey to come back to that, right? It's like, you hear like finding my true self, my authentic self, my heart. And it's really actually just remembering and reclaiming it.
I love that. And I can feel that. I can feel that deeper in my heart. And just, I think the knowing that we were born that way and we are that, and just so often we're reaching out for love or to be loved. And then, so many women are, really caught up in those illusions of not being good enough or having to be worthy or even having to have love look a certain way, or all those complications that can really distract from us just being it and remembering it and accessing it and vibrating with it and then drawing it all in. So I love that was such a perfect foundation for this connection today.
Well, I feel that's the truth, and that is, and that is our birthright. That really is.
Fist pump. So feminine, right? The feminine fist pump.
Right?
Oh, well, let's dive into your topic. So you obviously chose this specifically for us, which is so special. And it is when your heart, mind, and empowerment are aligned, anything is possible. So tell us what that meant to you, why you chose that topic, and
well, it's like I'm getting.
I know. Me too.
Yeah, I just get like, and because I think that living an authentic and loved, light-filled life, right? You hear a lot of things like follow your heart, which I think is vital. I mean, literally, that's how I operate. Actually, if you speak to my husband, he might say, "I wish she didn't just live from her heart so much." He'd be like. I think what is so vital is it's like the heartbeat is the first thing that happens to us, in the womb. Like it's the first thing that is developed, right? And it's the last thing, and our breath that we do before we leave our physical bodies. And we talk so much about this, like living from our heart, operating from our heart, which is vital. And if we all did that, we would have world peace, right? However, and I think "and" is the word. I think there needs to be this complete, you hear everyone talk about the chakras and the energy points of the body, but making decisions with our heart is vital. But really, to be fully empowered in your decisions, the mind and like that empowerment. So I look at the empowerment as like that solar plexus right above the belly button, obviously the heart right at the heart center, and then we have the mind, and it's like once. Obviously, if you're leading, just thinking about everything and overthinking, that's bringing you away from your heart, right? Or if you're just leading from ego, that's that. But if you have this beautiful alignment where your heart just feels this is right, and then you actually think, is this a good decision? Does this make sense? Is this for the highest good of all? And it is not coming from a place of fear or a place of ego, but it really is this empowered choice. So that's how I try to operate every day. I'll just like stop, take some time just to breathe, check in. Does this bring me joy? Is this coming from my heart? And at the same time, is this an empowered decision? Where is this coming from? It could be just as simple as a yes or a no for a small decision that you're making in your life, or a big one. But it's like you can use these tools with any decision that you make, because if you feel like you're living a life of, just saying yes, 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 and you're on this hamster wheel and you're not like feeding your soul, right? Or you feel that you're in a life where you're always saying no to things that you would really love to be experiencing. You just ask yourself, am I really answering this from this place of unconditional self-love, and one that is empowered and fully in line with my entire, you know, belief system? So I
Mm,
think that when you check in and you get a yes on all levels, it's like body, mind, and soul, then you know that you are, is what I would call living in that divine flow.
yeah, beautiful. And that in itself is an extraordinary possibility, for us to follow your lead as a feminine master. I know I live this way at this point too. My whole schedule, I mean, everything I do, the clients I meet, where I go on vacation and when, and, the more you cultivate this space in your heart and your being and connect all the dots, the dots of being, it opens up truly this seamless, effortless, extraordinary source of really everything you need within you.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
that possibility is just,
Yeah, and I love how you put it. And it's like, let's say somebody wants to tone up, their arms or something. So they go to the gym and they're doing weights, and it's like, after that muscle keeps getting exercise, it gets stronger and stronger. And then it's like that muscle is just strong, and you actually get to the stage where you up your weights, right? If that's what you choose and you'd like to do. And so I love how you said that. You just open up the space for that. So it could be something as simple as like, let's just say, because I love that you said it's like you live consciously from that place, whether it's booking a holiday, when, the clients that you choose to work with, what you choose to do. Like it's just like this stream of consciousness from your heart, from your soul, from your higher self, like from the earth. I mean, me and the earth like just commune all day long, like
mm,
that's a huge source of wisdom that flows through me and that we all have access to, and
mm,
she just, the divine mother, that the Gaia wants to connect in that way. So it's like, yeah, the more that you, with every, and it's like, the way you're so quick to answer, well, yeah, I'll do this, or no, I won't do that. Like from here on, like one thing that I love to advise people to say is, okay, well, let me think about that and get back to you. Whether it's something minute about going for tea with somebody, or whether it's like taking on a big new project, or whatever that looks like. But giving yourself space to check in from this place of not needing to prove yourself, like from ego, from fear, from lack, whatever those old patterns, old beliefs that could come up. But it's like truly from this place of infinite, unconditional love.
mm. Yeah, and I think that what's coming for me now is with this shift universally with consciousness and this, if you believe all that, I do, with these new dimensions opening up, it is our heart, truly. It always has been, but it truly now is our heart that is communing, like you say, with Gaia, with the universe. It's that vibration is more in alignment now than the mental vibrations. And so if we're not listening to our hearts and we're not living from this place, there's going to be even more of a jarring and a breakdown. And, I don't want to bring in the negative, but, it's just really essential at this point,
Yeah.
right? It's
And
an essential way of being for women, just to feel in harmony and flow and happy within themselves and have everything else that's possible.
yeah, and you say you don't want to bring in the negative, but I think that um, yin and yang, that light, the dark, actually giving us a barometer of, oh, ow, like it could be so much as a pain in your chest, or
Mm,
the body speaks to us in the most profound and powerful way. You feel tightness in your chest, or you just feel really low energy, or whatever it may be.
mm,
Your body will speak to you, and I think it's not about like being in the negative, but I think it's like being aware of that. You make a decision like, I am going to be really loving with myself, and then let's just say, I love to even say it, like the phone rings, right? And it's that phone call that is not what you planned, or that you would have loved to come in. And then it's like, then in that moment, you get to choose right after that phone call come in, whatever that phone call is about. you get to choose whether you stay in that place or you go into that place.
Absolutely.
That,
So I've heard you use the empowerment piece of your talk today is very connected to choice and to conscious choosing. It's just, I've heard you say it several times. And I want to open up this. So let's create some teaching points, because this is something, this is the way you roll. This is the way you live. And I just love watching you. It's all there. And so let's assume that there's some women watching with us, joining us, who might not know what it feels like to listen to their heart. I mean, what you just said was really helpful, because knowing what it's not like, when we're not living in flow and harmony with our hearts. But how can you set this up with some little tips, or what is it really like? Is there a step? Or I know there's obviously practices that can bring us into our hearts, but if a woman watching is truly wanting to live this way, what are some more essential things that she can know or practice?
That's so beautiful. You are so amazing. Well, the first thing, because the first thing that comes to mind when you say that, and it's like filling up our well. I spend a lot of time at these holy wells all around Europe, and they are that expression of the divine feminine. You just see that water flowing through the land, and it's just so soft but so powerful. And it's like filling up our own well is the first step, right? As whether or full-time in career, whatever it may be. The first thing that I always suggest to people, because that are feeling like they don't live in that place of unconditional self-love, the first thing that I say is, maybe you've been taking this left-hand turn your entire life. It's time to take a breath and check what's on the right-hand side. So if you're always saying yes, 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 even if you think it's humanly possible, I'll say yes and I'll do it. It's time to start taking the opposite. And when you do that, notice how that feels in your physical body, your emotional body, your psyche. Like, your cells will speak to you. You will see it in your reflection when you look in the mirror. You will feel it in your nervous system. And so let's just say you were always saying yes if it was humanly possible, because you felt like you should, the coulds, all those. And you start to fill up your own well with, we know the importance of, like, let's look at self-care. And whatever self-care is, like, it's like your non-negotiables. Like, every day I'm going to get out in nature first thing, or I'm going to wake up and I'm going to meditate, and I'm not going to reach for my phone or my computer and be out in the world. I'm going to take this time to go inwards and connect with my heart and my higher self. Or it's like, a 2-hour massage every week, whatever that is, facials, whatever that is. It's first of all just filling up your own well and giving to yourself unconditionally loving. Because, like, how can we be that in the world if we aren't being that with ourselves?
Yeah.
With my daughter, even my son, for example, it's like, how do I teach them about love? Like, I can't just talk to them about it. I have to model that. I have to be that for them to see it. How do I teach them about compassion? If I'm running around not being compassionate with myself, how can I teach them about that? So it's like, the first step is truly taking care of yourself, first of all. Enough sleep, the right diet, all that is based around self-love. And they are telltale signs that if you're constantly going for the lower vibration foods, or not caring about your sleep, or whatever it may be, they're telltale signs. And then if you decide, you know what, I'm going to go to bed early tonight because that feels like it would feed my body, and you wake up the next morning feeling vibrant, that is a signal that you're in a place of self-love, and you've cared about your physical body, your emotional well-being, because everything's brighter when you've had a good night's sleep. And then the world is brighter, and then from that place you just keep making good decisions. So I think when you're on that path of living from your heart, things just flow with more grace and ease. You got, like, you're on this, like, magical chariot. It's not like your life is perfect, but it's like, you're like, okay, this in my heart feels right. And then doors just start to open up. Things start to flow. You connect with the right person that connects you with the next right person. Or, it's just like, things start to unfold. And it happens with grace and ease. It's when you're in this, like, old way of being, where you're forcing things, and you're always, like, like this got to be hard work, and like I've got to, and when you notice that you're in that state, again, you just have to look and stop, take a breath. And is this coming from a place of love? It's when like, so I feel like the world, the universe is full of signs, whether it's your totem animal, the eagle that keeps flying by you, or whether it's like you just keep hearing the same sentence from 3 different people that you meet in a day. It's like when you're living from that place, you're in this divine feminine flow, which supports you with grace and ease for that which in your heart is what you need.
Yeah, beautiful. And I got this vision of there's this whole reality, everything that Amanda is connecting us to. And I love that visual of the well and the earth being mirroring our own well and filling that up and feeling connected and flowing and just all so beautiful. But it literally is, it's all here. But when we are in those shoulds and those have tos and that pushing and forcing and, saying yes to things that just don't feel good, or eating things, or, that putting things in our body that just we know are not, fulfilling us and filling us, we can't access it. But it's also, that's how easy it is to have today be that day where you consciously awaken to this access point that is by nourishing yourself and caring for yourself, and then that entire universe just comes in with you. But we have to bring it into us first. It's there, but the access is within us. And so by nourishing and putting the flow and the love and all that is, then like you said, everything just opens up. And so a lot of times, like I know you and I, like love and magic are 2 words that not everybody uses, love, magic, and miracles, but I know you and I, like, and so, but some people, some women, that might sound a little, like out there, but it's so true. I have a woman that yesterday just reported she's lost 70 pounds. She's in her skinny jeans for the first time. She said she feels better at 60 than she ever did at 20, and it all began by her connecting with her feminine, right? She came to feminine mastery for her business, right? To have a feminine, expressed and prosperous business. But she couldn't get to the business prosperity because her health was completely out of alignment. But when she connected with her feminine, she made a choice. So that's that empowerment that you're talking about through the conscious choice. And now literally everything is flowing. And so it is really, it's all possible. So beyond the self-love, which nourishing, and like that, it kind of all comes into that. But tell us more about, this rise, right? This Women Who Rise is the theme of this particular series. And, for me, that means that it's starting with that uprising of the feminine, and she is coming into all of us, and we're all awakening and, transforming, whether we like it or not. And it looks different ways for different women, but there is truly this call into your being, your feminine, this nourishment, this way of living, right, from your heart. And then there's this greater calling for many to step forward and into the world and share their gifts and make a difference, like you have for so many years. So in the context of rising and this beautiful alignment that you've opened up for everyone and these possibilities, what wisdom can you share for women that might be feeling those signs and feeling that there is this calling and something greater for them to step into?
Mm-hmm. So beautiful. Well, here we are at the end, of this summer, and as you discussed, I lead these spiritual retreats, and this summer has just kind of been off the chart with, there is a rise in, women living from this place of empowerment and really truly being authentic and knowing what it is they want in their life, because there's a difference between, wanting a better life, but actually knowing what it is that you want, so I love that you enjoyed the connection with the well. So this summer has been the most mind-blowing summer of these incredible women coming from all over the world to rise up. And, you know, it's amazing. We've been at some of these sacred, sacred sites, like older than the pyramids of Egypt, like 6,000-year-old. And there's this amazing throne. It's actually a place of sovereignty where
Mm.
like reclaim what it is. So we had drums, and women took turns to stand on top of this throne, and you basically can see out the whole of Ireland. And they stand up and they put their arms in air, and they claimed, like, I reclaim my right to, to express myself, to my sensuality, to my sexuality, and then the last thing that every single one of the women did, they raised their hands up in the air and they said, and I am queen of my own life. And can you imagine just like declaring this to, just to all your sisters, this 1,000-year-old 6,000-year-old site where ceremonies are done, like, for this, like, your ancestors have been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. And then it's like you're drawn to this place to declare this. And so I think it's just a matter of, what is it you want to rise up to? What does that mean to you in your heart? Because I think a lot of it is starting to become clear about knowing what is your birthright. It's like, oh, I want to reclaim, but what is it you want to reclaim? Like, and getting really, really clear. And it's actually knowing that which is an awaken you. Like you said, this woman came to you and she's like, I want to work in my business. But actually, her subconscious, unconscious mind knew she actually wanted to come to reawaken that divine feminine energy, that sensuality, that connection to her physical body. And that, when she truly made that connection, it was like, oh, well, actually, I'm not feeling good in my body. I want to lose weight. And actually, then I've got more energy. And now I've got more energy. I'm fitting in clothes. So I'm feeling more sexy for myself. And, so it's like, sometimes we actually don't know what it is we actually want to reclaim until and I think it all comes back to that connection, not just to our hearts, but to the earth and to our higher selves, where we get constant downloads straight from that, and not to sound too out there, but from that universal energy, like, that is pulsating through us. And on a scientific level, it's scientifically proven that every single thing, from our earrings to this computer or phone that you're watching this on right now, that everything is made up of energy. So if you can imagine that everything around you is vibrating, it's about getting into alignment with that energy that you want to live in. So I think what it really comes back to is knowing the feeling that you want to feel. So it's not like let's just say in business, it's not like I want to earn $1 million. It's like, what is the feeling? The feeling is, I want to feel free. I want to feel creative expression. I want to feel joy. I want to feel fulfillment. And then from that place, reclaiming, reopening, remembering. And then you will be very clearly guided, whether it's like, oh yeah, my diet's off, or, I need to leave this job and start really what it is. Like, in my heart, I know I'm supposed to be sharing whatever that looks like. So it's again, it all comes back to tuning in, not to, like, because sometimes, we think, oh, I want to earn 100,000 this year, and I want to do this, and I want to have that 4-bedroom house. But here's the thing, you don't even know what your destiny could have in store for you. Instead, you want to put it in this little box, and it's got to be, I got to have this 4-bedroom house, and I want to earn 100,000, versus like, these are the feelings I want to feel that I'm stepping into and I'm going to embody, and then let the universe look after that. And it could be far more, there's our word, magical and filled with miracles than we ever could have fathomed. Because I think we're too quick to put, like, this is it. It's rather than, it's like getting into the feeling. I actually want to just feel unconditional love and freedom and joy. Now let's see what that manifests itself as.
Yeah, there's this divine convergence of everything happening right here in this conversation. I love this. I mean, there's so many elements that are weaving together, and that the sovereignty is, it's a word that's, speaking to me, and feminine mastery, and it's just this destiny and these multidimensional parts of ourselves, and coming together at this time, within us, around us, and that claiming that vision of the women in Ireland and on that throne, and claiming, I want everyone to take that, whether you are ever going to ever be in Ireland, right? You've got that vision with you right now. And so that is, that is this time. And I think the rise is, the feminine is very much about where we started, with the nourishing and the access and then opening things up. And as we talk about our rise and coming forth in our calling, that claiming of your sovereignty and honoring of your soul really is truly what I'm feeling too in this moment is, so often we, like you say, through those, the rigid goals or those lower viewpoints, we're not honoring like the magnitude, the dimension, the phenomenal souls that we are, the divinity that we are, and then also becoming the woman, the divine expression as a woman in the world today, and coming forth with that elegance and that grace, and truly leading in a new way, and then collectively creating that world that is coming, right? That is here and coming.
Yeah, absolutely. It's here. It's like here in other dimensions, that which you want to feel is already happening. It already is. And, just another beautiful visual, because this retreat just ended basically last week, but we were in, just because I feel like if everybody's who here is watching and listening can just close your eyes, but we were in this majestic forest in Ireland with moss-covered trees and these oak trees that were like 500 years old, and this river going through it with swans in it. And all the women were in these goddess gowns, and we went deep into the forest. And it's like, this is like the yin time, like where you give yourself space just to dream and be and be free, and not in your head and not in your thinking. Well, we had drums and we just danced it and we sung it, and we chanted, chants like that have been chanted by, again, our mothers and our grandmothers and our great mother, where in the world, and dance barefoot like in this forest. And I think that whether you have the garden that you can do this in, right? Or, you want to go to a beach, or you can, because everybody has somewhere close by that they can do that. Or you can just do it in your own living room, and just put in that music and connect with that energy and give yourself that chance to be completely free and inhibited and not like worrying about the next time and place you've got to be somewhere, but you allow yourself to be free in body, mind, and soul. I think that's like the ultimate expression of the divine feminine, which I know you live by this. Would you agree?
Oh, well, absolutely. And I was right there in the forest and feeling my feet and, the goddess flow. And, we do our retreat so far in Maui. But I want to come over to Europe and do this with you. I know, but absolutely. It's my connection with the feminine happened in Maui. I was, leaving a job. I got married. I had my first child, and all this stuff was going on. And there I was in the middle of the Pacific, pushing my son in the baby carriage and seeing these dragonflies. And meanwhile, this awakening has happened. I thought I was like, oh, I'm living on Maui, and isn't this great? And I left my corporate job, but there was a greater plan for me, right? The goddess was waiting to make her connection and feed me this wisdom that she has carried, I've carried, for this time with the, feminine mastery and the archetypes and this moment with you and our meeting and our destinies intertwining. But to to give yourself that sacred time as well, whether it be in Ireland or Maui or in your own, your favorite chair in your own home, but to truly and be in communion with other women. It's a significantly different part of the feminine work, the collective world that is being creative. It's a different way that we're coming together that we've known, right, in the past. And that's what your work is so beautifully draws from, the dimensions of the history, and you can hear the voices and feel the hearts and souls in all the lifetimes. And that's sacred. We hear that word sacred, and that to me is what the sacredness is that honoring of all of the feminine that lives in everything. From, I was saying yesterday, like every leaf every molecule on every leaf has an access point into that dimension, right? It's like we just, oh, what a pretty tree, or what a pretty sunset, or, oh, you know, with me even like I was working on the this program, this Women Who Rise, and in through my front door flew a hummingbird, which is your archetype, right? Which is the archetype of love and that possibility of love that we are, right into my door, hovers around me, and right out the other door. You know, like, did that just happen? Right? But it's more than, it was a blessing, is what I felt. It was like I was in that such a divine, sacred space in my sacred part of my office. It's over there, in my favorite chair, connecting with women like you, like us, and there was that blessing, right? And so it's everywhere. It's everywhere around us. And when we pause and we connect in this beautiful way of aligning that you've introduced us to, it truly, it's all possible. And yet we can't even imagine what those possibilities are at this point.
Beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, and I can see the hummingbird just coming right in your door.
Oh my gosh. So beautiful. So is there anything else? I know you have a beautiful gift that you want to give, and you are the gift, might I add, for everybody that has been with us. But is there anything else you'd like to add to this particular talk to make it feel complete, and any words of wisdom or another points of guidance or anything
I
that's
think,
in your heart?
yeah, I think the last piece is permission, giving yourself permission to be that, and to do that, to express that. Just giving yourself permission, because you deserve to live a life of joy. And it doesn't mean that life, but whatever we call perfection, because in something that's perfect, there's imperfection, and something that's imperfect, there's perfection, right? You know? So I think just giving yourself permission to follow your heart, allow your mind to bow to your heart, and for them to commune in this harmonious way, and from this place of like true self-acceptance and true embodiment in knowing that.
Yes, I love that. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. And so I don't even want to talk because it's so beautiful. So what gift do you have to give today?
Well, I would love to offer the inner circle of wisdom that you mentioned at the beginning. It's a circle where I lead, virtual, so people can join from anywhere in the world, which is so beautiful about your offerings as well. That's what brings this oneness and this unity, where I teach so many modalities to live that life of joy and to create sacred space in your environment, and to allow yourself, as you just so beautifully shared, to witness miracles that are always happening around. So I would be my honor to offer, and there's a plethora and a library full of incredible, because it's been running for a number of years. And I would also love to offer a gift of one of my meditations to connect with your higher self, that gives you absolute unconditional love and clarity and infinite wisdom.
I think this is an essential gift, right? Because as one of the messages in our coming together today is that this is the way, right? And there's no have-tos or should-tos, but everything is vibrating, everything's opening up to live from the heart, to honor your essential nature. So joining your inner circle is that point of nourishment that you were sharing. I mean, just to be able to connect with you and receive all those gifts and be guided in that way. And again, connecting with the sisterhood. So absolutely take Amanda up on her gift. And Amanda, it's almost hard for me to speak right now, really, because I'm feeling so connected and filled and sparkly and joyful.
I really do feel that way too. It's just like there's this deep knowing and connection, but then there's, like, as you said, this like sparkly fairy very feeling, thank you. And just anytime I'm in your presence and get the honor to be with you, I feel that, because you are that, you are that beautiful embodiment and expression of the divine feminine. So thank you.
Likewise, thank you. Yay. All right, everyone. Interviews like this are so hard to complete, but yet I want you to all breathe it in, take it in with you, take Amanda with you, take her free gift with you. And I honor you from your divine, beautiful bodies to the soul and the dimension of your being and your calling that's just there waiting for you. So thank you for being with Amanda and I today, and we will see you on the next interview.